Hello, good afternoon or early evening. It's Simon from Ghost Raiders and I'm live at the Victorian graveyard. Obviously I'm going to wait for a few people to... It is what it is. Hi, excited to see this. Hugs. Thanks Sarah. Obviously I'm going to wait for a few people to come in. Hopefully the signal will hold up. Hi Kate, hope you're well. It isn't a ghost hunt this, it's just a walk around. I'm here for personal reasons. You look cool in your sunny G's. Yeah, I know it's sunny and I've left them on because I don't want to struggle to read the screen. Hey Minnie. We will be going live again later today at a haunted location, but this place was hey Urban Hunter. It is 5 p.m. I know, and it's absolutely glorious. Can't believe it. It's glorious. Hi sis, hope you're well. Yeah, this place is actually on the way to the location that I'll be going to tonight. And hello wifey from the living room. It's, I said personal reasons. They're actually more personal to my wife than me. As hi Alec, hope you're well. We've recently found out my wife's been extensively searching ancestry. Find My Past, not ancestry.com, Find My Past, and only just in the last couple of days found that she has family buried here. Now this is, as I said, it is a Victorian graveyard, cemetery, whatever you want to class it as. Now there are 23,000 bodies buried here, and when I turn the camera around and show you obviously around, where you see headstones and then grass and then more headstones, that grass isn't grass. That grass is, there's actually people buried under the grass. The thing is, obviously, with this graveyard, or as I said, this cemetery, whatever you want to class it as, obviously Victorian era, it was quite expensive to have headstones, and obviously pauper, there's a lot of pauper graves here, and obviously pauper graves won't have headstones. So yeah, and also they won't have been buried individually. There have been obviously different people buried at different eras, possibly on oi, hello, buried in the same grave plot. And just obviously catch up with chat, make sure I've not missed anybody. So there are different areas to this place. Some Roman Catholic. That area will have been obviously blessed by. You should come down to Brookwood Cemetery. It's amazing. It was used during the Victorian times. Had a train leading to, oh hang on a second, it's disappearing to leading to London, where they'd put coffins on the train and then send them down to Brookwood. Bloody hell, Kate. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Smash the like. Thank you, Holly. Where were I? I forgot where I was now. Miss your faces. Oh, miss yours, Holly. Obviously, this morning you said you weren't feeling too good. Oh yeah, that was where I was. So there's different parts of this cemetery, graveyard, all with different, obviously, faiths. They'll have all been blessed, obviously, by the priests, vicars of their religions. There is another reason why I'm here, and I will go through that obviously in a moment. We miss yours, Kate. We miss your face too. Let's have a look, see if anybody else has dropped into chat while I've been talking. No. We're also going to be looking for, while we're here, and as it stands, possibly not going to find it. Possibly not going to find it. My camera is smeary. I think it's actually There we go. I'll just get a quick wipe with my t-shirt. We're also going to be looking for the grave of a young girl called Elizabeth Bell, who up until recently didn't have a headstone, but obviously through doing a bit of research earlier on, we found that a family member of hers has now been and put a headstone on her plot. I'll go through her story in a moment as I walk around. Simon, I've read that one. There's 5 of them, not just one. Yes. I don't know if the headstone does actually have the other 5 names on, or whether it is just her name, but I'll obviously have to try and find the headstone. But that could be trying to find a needle in a haystack, to be quite honest with you. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and then obviously you can see what I can see, and then obviously as more people hopefully do drop into chat. There's 5 different headstones, right? Okie dokie. So this is the chapel in the middle. It is being renovated at the moment, hence obviously the guarding around it so that nobody can get in and obviously do anything. They're buried together but not in the same plot. So let's see if we can have a walk around and try and obviously locate Elizabeth Bell to start with. So this area is quite I can't zoom out, so you're gonna have to obviously bear with me on that one, Minnie. It is a lovely building. It is a lovely building. I don't even actually know where to start, so I'm just gonna possibly go down towards the bottom and then work back up. Possibly the best theory. I did park at the top, and I had a quick look round just after I got here, and I couldn't see anything that looked remotely like it is a bloody big graveyard. It's not as big as the one in Sheffield that has the 80,000 bodies buried in it, but there are graves here from the Commonwealth graves in here, so obviously soldiers are buried in here. And like I said, there's obviously all different faiths. IMMAPCC, hope you're well. No, it's not that one. It's not that one, Minnie. It's a different one. There are actually where I parked. I don't know if my sister's still in, Sheila. There's a few Hardings buried in this graveyard, in this cemetery, as well. I don't think obviously they're related to you, Sheila, but I've stumbled across 2 graves with the name Harding and on them. It is a bit of a maze as well, so just bear with me while I walk around. It's knowing, like I say, it's knowing where to start, and obviously trying to cover as much ground as possible, and read the chat at the same time without falling over. Live streams. I'm backed up at the moment with videos. I'm struggling with videos in the fact that work always gets in the way. And I don't get a lot of time to sit down and edit. So I do apologise for that. I have got videos that are going to be coming out as and when I can get to do them. But my theory was, obviously, weather permitting, that I'd like to try and start doing maybe once a month maybe once a month do a live stream for the public on a live ghost hunt. Thank you for that, Holly. And it is nice weather. I think it's about 15 degrees, but the sun is lovely. The sun is absolutely beautiful. The bottom's actually down here near the road. Yes, do more live hunts. I will try and do them, Holly. I mean, like I said, work is a factor in obviously the reason why I don't get to do quite a lot. I hope that's not coming for me. No, it's an ambulance. And when you're at work and you're obviously working, obviously everything that you need to get done at home gets put back and gets put off, and obviously you end up having to do that when you're off, and then obviously when you're off you're doing that work, and then obviously the editing side of things, you know, the video side of things always seems to obviously take a back seat, you know, like a third place as much. So please consider becoming a member for weekly live streams, case studies, member only ghost hunts, and much more. Thank you, Holly, for putting that in. Yeah, that was something else I was wanting to obviously discuss and talk about, and that was obviously we do have channel membership, and that is normally once a week unless work again gets in the way. And we do once a month, we do have a free prize draw where, you know, one lucky person wins a prize. We are looking for a black headstone, I will give you that, and it is actually looking more like it could be down this end at cemetery. So just bear with me while I try and not fall flat on my backside. As I said at the start of the live stream, I will be going live later on tonight at a haunted location. That will be around about 8 o'clock tonight. Grief. There's 5, not 1. Yeah, I know, but I'm looking for the one that I can sort of say that's definitely. But it could be a bit of a needle in a haystack type of hunt. I think this is more modern, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, this looks like the newer, to be quite honest. So I'll have a walk back up the hill and try and find where we could be looking at. Oh dear. Oh, that's Eric Bell. We've got a bell, but the wrong bell. I just saw the E and then Bell, and I thought, maybe. Hey, Matt. Hope you're well. I'll walk back up there now. At least I'm getting some exercise while I'm out and about. Right, these up here are obviously a lot older. Anyway, the story of Elizabeth Bell, or Lizzie, she died in 1911, and it's the story is that after a group of I have obviously got this printed out because there's quite a lot to try and remember. My brain sometimes forgets things even after about 5 minutes of obviously being told them. So so after a group of 25 children crowded into 2 small changing rooms in a cottage on Burlington Street, where they were due to perform a Christmas show in the adjacent picture palace, some of the girls, including the 5 casualties, were wearing dresses to which cotton wool had been attached to represent Eskimos. Now, certain news headlines have got them as Eskimos, some have got them as penguins, but we'll obviously read what this one is. Anyway, it says that the newspaper reporter suggests that one of the girls was smoking. The reason for the start of the fire was disputed, but the inquest concluded that one of the girls was dropping small pieces of cotton wool onto the fire, and one flew up and set, I'm gonna have to stop and sit down, I think, set Lizzie Bell's costume on fire, and obviously causing her to get burnt very badly. Now, obviously, because she was crammed into a room with other kids, it just obviously also caused her best friends, her best friends, to obviously also get that's old age, Simon. Cheers, Holly. It also obviously caused her friends to obviously get set alight. Now, obviously, they weren't as bad. They weren't as bad on fire as obviously Lizzie was, and they managed to run downstairs and out onto the street where, well, you see the squirrel, where they were obviously rushed to hospital, but sadly later died of obviously their injuries. Yeah, cheers, Ollie. I think the sad fact about obviously this is that there were only young girls. The 5 girls were only aged between 12 and 13, and that Elizabeth Bell's mother was so affected by the death of a child that she died just 1 month later. And like it says that they were buried in paupers' graves. Now obviously that's been changed. Now that obviously relatives have started coming forward and putting headstones on. Simon, rewind it a bit, I missed the squirrel. I can't, you'll have to. It is sad, it is very sad, yeah, indeed it is very sad. I mean, things like that now won't be allowed to happen, you know, what with all the stringent health and safety rules that are in place. But whether the girls were actually smoking or whether they weren't actually smoking, because I think there's another report that I've seen where it says that they were carrying candles, and one of the candles set fire to the garments that they were wearing. So obviously let's go on a squirrel hunt. I'm not looking for that flaming squirrel. I'm looking for an headstone. Possibly won't find the thing, but you know what it's like. I've caught my breath back now. Now I'm on flat land. Did you see the finger come out of that grave? Oh dear. Thank you, Wendy, for that little bit of information. Yeah. I mean, I took you right down to the bottom of the cemetery. I'm now sort of on the level at the top, where then obviously it slopes away down the other side. And like I said to you earlier, so you've got obviously all this grass here, and over here there is obviously more grass. There will be people buried under that grass. You know, they've just not got headstones to mark that that's where they're buried, and it's hard to be sort of respectful to them people when you're trying to find somewhere to walk to get to certain graves and there isn't actually a path, you know. So let's just have a look at I'll miss some. Ollie, I don't have causing my headache. What? This is why Simon doesn't take us, Minnie. We are too easily distracted. Oh, squirrel. Yeah, I know. Wicker cross. Yeah. Yeah, I'd have been looking for ghosts and you'd have been chasing the bloody squirrel, Ollie. You're looking for 5 black headstones. Let's have a look over there. Oh, hang on a second. They're black. Let's have a look down here. Must be, I don't know if there's 5 in a row or what. One of them might be grey. There's another really interesting grave in there too. I mean, if you want to obviously share that information, please feel free to do so. Have they got a website where you can find out which plot they're in? They have got a Facebook page, Holly, but I don't think that they would have that information. I think you'd have to contact yeah, I'm going to get to the monk's grave in a second. I'm just there's only 4 here. The other one was a grey one. Oh well. Yeah, there's a cottage nearby to obviously this church that when they were doing some groundwork in the cottage, they actually dug up some skeletal remains, and they believe that those skeletal remains are of a monk. The cottage in question was a leper hospital back in the day, and I think that the monk obviously must have worked there at the time. Now, I'm not actually right sure in which direction the actual cottage is, because this actual cemetery, graveyard, whatever you want to call it, is actually off of 3 roads, so it's trying to figure out where it would be. And yes, as she just put, he was reinterred in here. Five black headstones. See, these all look pretty new. I can't see that she would be in this section, but I'll do this section and then obviously move back and do the older section. Plenty of pigeons flying around. Just hope I don't get one dropping an unwelcome present on me. It is peaceful. It is very peaceful here, even though, like I said, it's off of like 3 main roads. It's got quite high walls around it, obviously, that always keep the noise out. Could be all day. Could be all day here looking for these. I'm going to go back to the middle section around the church and see if I can see anything there. I bet the monkey's peed off. Probably, yes. Grave raiders. Cheers, Matt. Cheers. Again, like I said at the beginning of the live stream, we are going to be going live again at 8 o'clock tonight, so please feel free to obviously join us for the second live stream at a haunted location. Hopefully it'll be an active night, but obviously you know this channel doesn't fake, so it is what it is. And again, with obviously coming and doing public live streams, I kind of feel sorry for people that I think some people probably come in and expect to see ghosts and things being thrown around, on one thing and another. And obviously that's not what this channel's about. What we get is what we get. If we don't get anything, then sadly, we don't get anything. We go home empty-handed. So we will have to obviously. Shall I send Edward over? You can send Edward over if you want, Ollie. Yes. Give you a welcome break. Oh, that sun's becoming a nuisance. for the size of the cemetery, you know, 23,000 bodies. It's a large amount. I mean, yeah, it's a fair sized cemetery, but it's like I said earlier, it's nowhere as near as big as the one in Sheffield that's got 80,000 in. And you know, sadly, people have obviously been buried on top of other people. These graves look very elaborate. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. We found another squirrel. There's another squirrel down there that was disappeared into the bush. I'll probably walk down there and startle him in a minute. You've got me now doing it, Ollie. You've got me now doing it, looking for squirrels instead of bloody instead of a grave, instead of an headstone. Sorry. Hang on a second. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could this be Elizabeth? Yeah, we've got Elizabeth Bell. We've got... There, we found her. We found Elizabeth. We found Elizabeth, who was fatally burned at the Picture Palace in Chesterfield, aged 13. We've got Ada Winifred Tidball, who was also fatally burned, aged 13. And then we have Lydia Smith and Winnie Wood, and also Mabel Swain. So those are the 5 headstones of the, you know, the girls that tragically died in the well, they were putting on a pantomime, and obviously, yeah, bless them. All 13, apart from one that was 12 years old, all died on the 28th of December 1911. Not much of a Christmas for their families. Obviously that happening. Yeah, took a bit of doing, but we got there in the end. We found them. Yeah. I did, yeah. Cheers, Alec. Yeah, I did find them. Yeah, yeah. Their headstones look new. Have they been replaced recently? No, they didn't have headstones. I think what it is it's family members who have probably done research into their past have obviously realised that these girls are related to them, and obviously they've got no headstone. So obviously these headstones will have been put on by sort of our generation, if you want to put it like that. You know, our generation of obviously put them on. So like Elizabeth Bell's, you know, relative from this era, obviously he's found out that Elizabeth Bell is obviously his great relative, and he's done some research into where she is, and obviously he's put a headstone on. Whether Elizabeth Bell's family have done the same for the rest of them, I don't think that's possibly the case, but obviously anyway, I won't, yeah, going back to the monk, I wouldn't even know where to begin looking for the monk. He could be anywhere, literally. Literally anywhere. If he's only been reinterred recently, then he could be in the new part up the top, he could be in the new part down the bottom. I don't think he's going to be in this section of the cemetery. I mean, he might be, but I would have thought he'd have been up top or down the bottom, if anywhere. But yeah, at least we've come and we've found Elizabeth Bell, Ada Winifred Tidball, Lydia Smith, Winnie Wood, and Mabel Swain. Try and get out of here and find the path. Where's the bloody path? There's no paths. It did say, I mean, the other thing that it did say on that report, that a mother, Elizabeth Bell's mother, sadly passed away 1 month after this tragic accident. Now there's obviously no mention of Elizabeth Bell being buried in the same grave as her mother, so a mother might not even be in this cemetery. I don't know. I mean, a mother could be, you know, buried somewhere else. I mean, the other thing that you've got to obviously take into consideration with headstones is that, see if I can find one that's, these actually don't look too bad. You can go to certain graveyards or cemeteries and the headstones are in such a poor, poor condition through erosion from the elements that you've got no chance of actually identifying who is buried there. Old Comrades Commemorative Meadow. There are probably a few more of them dotted about, but that's the first one I've seen. Indeed, Kate, indeed. Wipe my screen. I think it's the glare from the sun, I don't think it's the screen. What does it say? Right, hang on, I'll take you back. What's that, Holly? When I die, I'm going to have my head preserved in a jar and you can still take me on... Right. Fair enough, Holly, yeah, fair enough. Right. Read it. Chesterfield, like so many cities, towns and villages across the country and Commonwealth, lost a whole generation to the Great War, and many believe some communities never recovered from the loss of so many young men. We owe them a great debt, even now 100 years after the start of the conflict. Through nature we see regeneration and remember their sacrifice for us. Members and staff of Chesterfield Borough Council. That's what it reads. Yeah, as I was driving up to this, oh, there's another one there. As I was driving up to this place, I looked at my signal strength and I'm thinking, oh God, am I going to be able to do a live stream from here? You know, I don't know if the signal quality is going to be good enough. Luckily, it did get a little bit better. I'll read this one out to you. I will show it. Yeah, I think it's the reflection of, obviously, the gateway path to commemorate the centenary of the signing of the Peace Treaty of Versailles on 28th of June 1919. Lest we forget, on this path we remember the families of service personnel buried in Spittal Cemetery from World War I and World War II, who in peace bore their loss but rebuilt their lives. We also remember the many veterans who have returned to Chesterfield and this part of Derbyshire over the years. We give our thanks to others remembered on family graves who didn't return. Hope remains that nations will make every effort to resolve their differences by peaceful means. Yeah, you can see that's been listened to, can't you, in obviously recent months and years. That's two of them I found. I mean, possibly, like I said, could be more, I don't know. Got one back up here. Dooby-doo. Walking back towards the chapel in the middle. I mean, what kind of... I'll put this question out to you, obviously the people that are watching. Can't see the stream, the sun. Let's have a look at some of the graves. Yeah, I can do. I mean, what if this monk was reinterred in this cemetery? What type of grave do you think he'd have? Do you think he'd have a simple grave, or do you think he'd have an elaborate one? I mean, it might help me, obviously, I don't know, while I'm having a quick walk around, locate him. I mean, this is quite an elaborate grave. Thomas Carrington, and that's from 1833, I think. The actual I can see the 18, but it does look like it could possibly be 1833. So that's more recent. That's like died 1926, 1950s. 1870, Mary Auckland. I think that's 1892. $1899. So I'm trying to see if I can find like maybe really old ones. 1900s. I can say it were really only the rich and wealthy that had the headstones in the Victorian times. 1841 there. I think 1833 from the one I've been back up there is probably the oldest so far. Kate, you really want to go to Windsor Castle and see Henry VIII's grave? Apparently he burst out his coffin. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Yeah, you get ones like this, which obviously you can see in loving memory, and then James, and then it just gets eroded to the point where you can't see a year on it, which is obviously quite sad. Yeah, the gas has made him explode. Well, Henry VIII, I mean, he were a big bloke to start with, you know. So, 1895, 1871. I mean, even recent ones, I mean, that's, well, I'm saying recent, it's 1913, but you can see that a complete top, where obviously the letters were obviously placed, is completely gone. I mean, that one, yeah, that's totally gone. Or is that the footstone of that one? Possibly be the footstone, that, I don't, it seems a bit elaborate for a footstone. It is a very big place. Indeed, it is. Can't get down there. 1870, 1870s, 1871, 1872. So, yeah, you're looking at latter half of the 1800s. One there, 1857. Consecrated 1857, that's all it says. . 1880s. $1844. Oh, hang on, we've got one here from a bit earlier. 1807. John Wyatt, born. Oh, hang on. No, he was born on the 22nd of September 1807 and died 1880. Yeah. There you go. I've heard of, obviously, you know, bodies getting gassed up, but I didn't realise that Henry had actually been buried and then he'd burst out of his coffin due to, obviously, his body bloating. Sorry, Matt, I missed your comment. Let's have a look at your first comment. Before they maybe used wood or didn't have them. Or underneath the graves you see now, I think I heard somewhere they used to cover them with loads of mud and start again. Very possibly, Matt. Yes, indeed. There's a bench here which dedicated to, donated by the Friends of Spittal Cemetery with the aid of Chesterfield Community Forum. It's not actually dedicated to anybody, that. But you can, obviously, you do get benches in and amongst, you know, cemeteries and graveyards that have obviously been dedicated to certain people. Now this one, oh, looks like someone's been busy. Now, I don't know if that, let's have a look, that looks like it could have, can't see that being laid there, looks like it's, no, it's not off of that because that's just obviously got a top on it. But looks to be a lot of damage on this one, but obviously someone's been busy with the yeah, I can quite believe that, Kate. I can quite believe that's happened. You know, natural decomposition took over. Body's bloated with gases. Yeah, it does look like there's it's a volunteer type place, you know, where obviously people are coming in and maintaining it, which Wards End Cemetery in Sheffield, that's obviously got volunteers that go in there and start maintaining that one. That one's a massive cemetery as well. It is massive. Find somewhere to sit down. Yeah, if you go on the Facebook page, Spittle Cemetery, I think it is actually on the Facebook page. They do tours at certain times of month where you can actually come and have a walk around, and somebody will obviously talk to you about the history of the place. It might be worth coming down. You know, we've obviously found Elizabeth and her friends, but might be worth coming down if obviously we want to try and find where the monk is buried. I want to go to Lambeth Cemetery in London. My granddad's buried there. I need to find him. Also, there's a tour where you can do the catacombs of lead-lined coffins. Oh, very nice, Kate, very nice. Plonk down here for a minute. Did anyone bring sandwiches and a flask of tea? Did anyone bring sandwiches or a flask of tea? What for, Ollie? What's people bringing sandwiches and a flask of tea? Have I missed something? Let's put these back on. Disappear off that. So there you have the cemetery, or graveyard of Spittle in Chesterfield. Because it's a lovely day and you're in a beautiful place. No, I didn't bring a flask of tea and I didn't bring sandwiches, but I am quite hungry. So might be a petrol station stop off to get some pop on the way to the next location. But yeah, it's been a really interesting walk around. I hope obviously you've enjoyed it. You're sitting down, it's good time. If I were there, you know you would have a bag with snacks and sandwiches, etc. That is true. That is true. That is so true of Holly. Holly doesn't go anywhere on an investigation without bringing a sorry, I thought I saw a squirrel. A rucksack full of food. In fact, I keep joking to her that there's a little man in there. It's like a little corner shop and there's a little man in there, and she just opens the bag and goes, "Can I have that?" And this little hand comes out and hands it to her. She is just like Scooby-Doo, yes. Me and Ollie always have snacks. I always forget snacks. Yeah, I do and all. Don't need to when Ollie's about though, do we? Hey. But yeah, it's been a lovely walk around. I've really enjoyed it. Like I say, we are doing a live ghost hunt later on at 8 o'clock tonight, if you want to obviously come back and join us for that. This was just a stop off on the way to, like I said, Wendy, my wife, has got relatives buried in here somewhere, and I will be ringing her shortly to see if we can locate where those relatives could be. We need another night like that. We do. We're giving away all my secrets. Snacks are good. Snacks are always good, Kate. Snacks are always good. Yes, I agree. And did you enjoy this little walkabout? You doing the investigation by yourself, Simon? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it by myself. We have been sent a map where they are in the graveyard, yes, but those graves are sadly not marked. So we're going to have to try and find graves that are near it to try and locate, obviously, where they could be. So I need to obviously look at the map and then work out from that map where I need to be standing, and then go to that location. It's Minnie and Alec tonight, Kate. Ollie's got the boyfriend over, but she said this morning she wasn't feeling very well. But Holly will be involved on some soon, don't worry about that. Holly will be involved in some soon. Plus the place that we're going to is really, really small. It's only like the class it as a cottage, but obviously I'll go into that one in more detail on the next live stream. No, they've both got man flu. Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want their Germans, you know, their flus, so they can keep it to themselves. Yeah. So obviously I would like to obviously thank each and every one of you for coming into the live stream. It was always a privilege and a pleasure to see you all. Holly, Kate, Diamond Eyes, APCC, Squeeto, Minnie, Alec. It is what it is. Our Sheila were in earlier. Matt, Alec, I think I've said. Minnie, I think I've said. Diamond Eyes. I'm just scrolling back through to see if there's anybody that I could have possibly missed, but I doubt it. Yeah, if I have missed your name, I do apologise. But yeah, obviously thank you so much for joining me on this little walk around, and we will catch you later on tonight, round about roughly 8 o'clock. Hopefully everything goes well. I think we've got a decent enough signal down there, so yeah, it should be. Well, let's just hope and pray that it's a good night. Yeah, so thank you all again, and we will catch you, like I say, 8 o'clock tonight. And from me, bye for now.